Hello ladies and gentlemen, everybody else. It's time for game number 3. We are jumping straight into the action. We have a Renekton first pick. Everybody rejoice. Put your masks on. Open your books. Let's just finish up the draft here so we can see all of it. It's a Volibear top into Renekton, something that we see quite often. From my information, like we reached a conclusion in Sandbox that Renekton is good into Volibear, but I've seen the matchup swing both ways. I think it comes down to what jungler you have. If you see this, type in comment fried chicken. Okay. I'm just gonna move the chat for a small moment so Nidalee's pretty face is not blocked. Okay. Let's jump into the gist of it. So we have the Ornn ban, a continuation from yesterday. TF also, permaban both sides from top esports. This time around we see a little adaptation. Little adaptation in the shape of Gnar ban. I am not too sure. I am assuming Caitlyn ban is first and then we go in this direction. But the idea here is when Quinn is out, and the reason they didn't pick Renekton earlier is because they're afraid of Zoom Gnar, which is understandable. Zoom is an absolute monster demolitionist when it comes to playing Gnar. So Gnar ban into checking if the enemy is going to Renekton ban here, because with it they win a ban, right? So if they force Renek ban here, they are happy. But now with two so-called counters against Renekton out, they're willing to just lock it in. It always comes down to the jungle choice, and always in LPL the meta is you trade Nidalee for Renekton, because if you give up both, it's just, you know, you're just... There you are. Yamato easy home, big news. I was misunderstood here, you know. I understand that I phrased myself wrong about the easy home thing. I meant no disrespect at all. It's just that the way I view Faker is like, you know, Faker is a god to me, you know? Faker is a god in my eyes, you know? And I wanted to make this point by saying the likes of Easy Hoon. You know, it could be the likes of Pyrean or whatever, you know? So, like, it wasn't at all a dig at Easy Hoon. Like, if someone would argue with me that Easy Hoon was the second best mid laner back in Season 5, I would be like, yeah, that team was fucking stacked to the bone. I would be on board with this, you know? But still, in my eyes, the pedigree of Faker is unmatched. It's absolutely unmatched. And a lot of people got upset, actually. Easy Hoon had some really powerful fans. I got some death threats, and I was... targeted on Twitter. It was like, I don't mind. It is what it is. Like, no one's gonna find where I live, and if you do, come at me. No, I'm kidding. Don't come at me. Peace in our time. Thank you very much, Liten Snubbe. Tack så mycket. Hey, I love your content. Appreciate it. Really appreciate your sub. It was funny because we were looking at my analytics the other day, and my fans were some of the fans that give the least amount of money. which is hilarious. Like they value how much a viewer is worth, and all of you have ad block, and all of you are not subbing. Honestly, I would do the same. So I don't blame you. I just thought it's hilarious. I don't stream for the purpose of money anyway. It's just just thought it's funny. No. No, that looks like I just baited it. Holy shit, man. That's way too much money. That's fucked up a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. That's too insane. That seems like I baited it. I really didn't want it now. Jesus. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's truly nice of you. Thank you very much. My content will always be free. My content will always be free. You can put ad block. I'm using ad block. I'm using ad block to the bone. uBlock Origin has access to this site. Wait, it's still on. Actually, I have YouTube Premium. That's why I don't have it on. Thank you so much, Raid EU. And there we go. We got more subs than I had for the last 2 weeks. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have you talked about the mythic items? Yeah, I've talked about some of them in a bit. No, please stop, please stop. Let me review, guys. Let me review for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome to the squad, guys. We need a name for the squad. Battle Cruiser Operational. Welcome to the Battle Cruiser. Let's just call it that. Battle Cruiser Operational. Who called in the fleet? Okay, we continue. So Ash, we also agree with. Like, I've been venting and talking about how I think OP, like how OP Ash is. The reason I think Ash is OP is she doesn't necessarily have any obvious weakness, you know? Like her weakness is sure, maybe OF, whatever, but these champions are not that relevant right now. And even in these cases, Ash can fight back, you know, she can change up her itemization and that's super cool. Also, her Ash E is absurdly OP in competitive play when you know how to use it. When you're playing something like Nidalee and you have information, it can win games. It can honestly win games because it allows you to make choices that usually you wouldn't do. This is like the epitome of bringing back Korean gameplay. Really, Ash E is absurdly strong. Second thing about it, it really abuses a lot of lanes. It's hard to counter Ash in lane. She does well into everything. The biggest counter maybe is, I don't know, Ziggs, or Syndra, something like this, you know, but who plays these champs? No one's a believer of the cause. Thank you so much once again, Lead Snubber. I really appreciate it. Everybody, welcome. Give a big thank you to Lead Snubber if you got it. I appreciate it. I think Karsa's bot could also be something, but maybe Ash could be durable against it. Nevertheless, we have a Gragas lock-in. Karsa very famous for this one. So I played against Karsa in group stage, and we got Gragas by him. We got bopped. Kate, no, Ash can win Kate. The lane matchup is pretty even. But problem is Kate is too powerful on 3 items and also 2 items, and Ash can actually win Kate. Like, traditionally, Ash was considered a counter into Kate. Okay, so I have the Lucian lock-in, which is understandable. The reason it's understandable is because the AD carry choices are 3. For JackeyLove, what he's thinking Senna, he's thinking Ezreal, and he's thinking Jhin. The reason they go for Lucian is because always you'll see top esports looking for a very strong 2v2 combination. If you mix your damage, it becomes so much harder to itemize against it, so this is why they always go for it. I think some melee supports are good into Ash, but the thing is, a lot of supports can compensate for that weakness as well. Can Senna outscale Ash Kate? Well, she can, but it depends, you know, it depends. Like, sure, she has time. The thing is, Kate has time as an advantage, but then you can get into like absurd territory when you go over like 120 souls. Then you begin to become, you know, too OP with Senna. So it's like a strange topic, right? It's like saying Veigar outscales every champion in the game, or Nasus outscales every champion in the game, or Sion outscales every champion in the game. Is it true? To some degree, but at the same time, no. Morg is really good into Ashe. So the thing is, Morg struggles against champions that have very long attack range because, you know, it is tricky to approach them. Ashe is so weak if you get close or land a single CC on her. Well, that's the thing, right? The class of AD carries are weak against this. So if you play a Jhin, if you play a Caitlyn, all of these champions struggle against the same thing. It's just the nature of the AD carry role. Some genius is going to write, oh, Ezreal, but Ezreal really should be in a class of his own. Ezreal really should be in a class of his own because he is like the epitome of you can fit in any glove, fit in any shoe. with Ezreal. Who is best top laner? Honestly, I would go for Zoom. I think Zoom. Do you think it's harder for Ashe to do damage compared to the other good ADKs? No, not necessarily, no. Let's continue. So, we spoke about Lucian and why it's good to get with Gragas. Lucian is something that gets a lot of bans, and Night Lucian is very, very good. It's a very, very good one. Karsa is also known for his Gragas, but they are picking this for the combination of the 2v2. The other options that could be here, someone might be pointing out Evelynn, but the thing is, Gragas, Evelynn is something that you're not going to see the LPL teams play, neither Hecarim, because they're just too unimpactful early levels. They need to reach 6 before they become active, and Gragas already on level 3 has a lot of pressure with the flash gank. So this is the key difference. Why not Yasuo over Lucian? Because it's blind pick. Lucian doesn't have that many counters per se. Like, there are things that can survive against Lucian. But like if you pick Yasuo, for example, playing into Azir becomes very tricky. Playing into Azir is tricky. Syndra can do well against Yasuo. And Yasuo has received and tanked a lot of nerfs. So the state of Yasuo is very poor. I doubt we will see it the whole World Championship unless it's like, oh, enemy is Ezreal, Braum, Varus mid, or some silly thing like that where the wind wall just gets too much value. Maybe top esports could flex the Gragas knowing JDG support. Yeah, that could be something too. Yeah, but I think here in this moment when you lock in Gragas, you know it's with the intention that you can always send it into the Nidalee. I'm currently in Berlin for vacation. Yeah. Are you happy with Yoni, Close, and Pro? Yeah, but at the same time, no, because I think the pro players would be the ones that are the most insane on these champions. But at the same time, that champion is not figured out yet by the community, so I think it takes time. Reunited with Tifa, people happy, yes. And nevertheless, we continue. So we have the Volibear lock-in. This is the counter choice into Renekton, considering there's already a lot of bans. The champions that are good into Renek, on top of that, Lucian is picked. It's good to go for Volibear. The reason Volibear is also extra perfect is because it synergizes with Nidalee too. Nidalee wants to lane and play with things that have hard CC. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Tahm Kench is the next ban, which signifies that they want to look for a Leona or a Nautilus. In a lot of cases, you'll see in LPL that people prioritize Leona because Leona is just... her base numbers are just absurdly high. Very, very high. She's very tanky, and a lot of the champions that in solo queue you consider counters are not really counters on the highest level of Leona gameplay. And Lemao, Louis Vuitton Mao, he is possibly the best Leona in the world. So this guy doesn't give a shit about these counters. It's definitely outplayable. Like, you can play into Thresh. There's rooms to outplay a Thresh with Leona. There's room to outplay a Morgana with Leona. Because the window, the window of Morgana Black Shield is pretty large, and then after 6, it becomes trickier to play, and so forth. Like, Leona is absurdly strong because her R cooldown is ridiculous, as Filiu CST just wrote. And on top of that, she's insanely durable. Like, her engaging in a lot of cases after 3 is unpunishable. She loses no HP because of the nature of how W works together with Aftershock. It is just an insanely strong champion right now. You know, if you think about Leon and Ashe, they don't have that much synergy. Like, they have some kind of synergy because Ashe has an easy time proccing the Leona, passives. But to keep in mind, in the past, people would see, oh, this is a lane that I will run cleanse against, and I am very, very happy. Very, very happy, right? But it doesn't matter because Ashe and Leona are so strong. They are so absurdly strong that it just doesn't matter. That's what's so crazy about it. So let's continue. So we have these three we saw. We have the Tom ban, which signals Leona or Nautilus, but banning Leona Nautilus here is something they don't want to do. Bard is out. Bard is kind of a weird ban. Because I guess what top esports could be afraid of and why they ban Bard is they are afraid of a potential 5-pick support. Because here they could pick mid lane, right? They could pick Syndra here and it wouldn't make a difference. But in this case, with Tom out, Leona blind pick is very, very strong. So Ashe Naut is better. But the thing is, it isn't. Leona Ashe, you get cleansed stones. But the thing is, Leona and Ashe are so absurdly strong on their own that imagine there's a point in time where it doesn't become, you don't have to talk about synergy anymore. You just have, you have 2 10 out of 10 champs. The lane is going to be strong and good regardless, right? It just pick OP champs. That's what it is. Just pick OP champs. That's literally what it is. And now the Bard ban makes more sense. They're just afraid of 5-pick because they want to go for Braum and Senna. So this is a tough lane to play. You know, the Ashe Leona are definitely winning because they don't have enough punch to punish Leona for going. This is a weak side bot lane that is just looking to survive. It is a bit tricky to dive this lane, which is, you know, the main reason why this is locked in. Ezreal's out, and that main idea from JDG is just to want to remove safety. You know, they ban Tom, they ban Ezreal, they want to remove safety. And Leona Ashe can definitely find ways to fight this one. The thing is, if you ban Bard Leona, you run into the situation where the enemy pick Nautilus. And it doesn't really change your world. It doesn't change your world that much, you know? Sure, in this case, you know, you could argue against the set ban, but the set ban is important because set 5 would be quite strong here. You can itemize armor, you're playing into Lucian, Renekton, and then you have the Nidalee. I would say that the set ban is good. Is Renekton Elise viable on R1, R2? I think Renekton Elise is a bit too heavy-handed on the commitment of you know, early game. I think Renekton works great as a pick to make sure that your jungler is in a good state of the game, so you can compensate for the weakness. Did he say Volibear was bad? No, I think together with Nidalee it's quite good because you want to have hard CC, and considering there's a lot of top lane bans already, you know, in the shape of Ornn, Gnar, Quinn, and Renekton is picked, Lucian is picked, then Volibear is instantly the best choice here. Wouldn't Ori be better than Syndra? Well, the thing is, Orianna's banned. Orianna's banned here on the first. Here, ideally, what you want to look for is an AD champion. Like, if you're feeling extra frisky here, you play Irelia. But this is if you feel very frisky. Because ideally, you want to synergize. You want to pick a champion that synergizes with Nidalee somehow. But it's tough. It's quite tough here. Another option here could be to pick Casio 5. Casio 5 could be quite nasty. Because you are playing into quite... you know, like Gragas is pretty good against Karsa, I would say, and then probably Senna is good too, but at least you have ways to fight back in the lane. But then again, if you pick an AP, I think most of the time, like Lucian Gragas is going to be the stronger 2v2. It is going to be the stronger 2v2. How do you stop nice Syndra with Rookie's Echo? But it comes down to 2v2. It always comes down to 2v2. You will notice top esports does this very well. They just draft for 2v2. If Lucian was banned for some reason, they wouldn't have picked this. They wouldn't have picked Gragas. Doesn't Karsa get shut down too much early? Yeah, it's like, it's playable for Lucian, the matchup, but it's considered like a soft counter coming into the game. Can Tristana be answer to Lucian? It could be. But historically, Lucian has been good into Tristana, at least in bottom side. In mid 2v2, I could imagine, honestly, it's not a bad idea. I like the idea of Tristana. I am a big advocate of Tristana mid, and just because nobody talks about it, I think a lot of people forget about it. But I think Lucian should be winning early into Tristana, and then I think you just have to look to all in. Because Trist has double jumps, but honestly, big points to the Dark White too. Tristana is honestly really, really good here. Very, very smart. Good job, man. Good job. Big points to the Dark White too. I think that's a good note to end the draft discussion. If we put everything in perspective about how... So I've forgotten this game. I've watched this game, but I forgot this game. Like, I watched it live, so I don't remember. I've got to be completely honest. So let's put that on the table. This team wants to play heavy topside, and this team could honestly match. But the tricky thing, when we reach the first bases, and maybe there's a Hex Drinker buy, a No Magic Mantle buy, it is going to be tricky to play 2v2 mid. So ideally you want these two to interact well and snowball onto the Renekton and then pressure into topside river. That is what you want to look for. The key thing here is that Ashe Leona also brings an avenue of opportunity, and Karsa doesn't have the same in the bottom side. Sure, you could gank us in a Braum lane in surprising fashion, and you can play in a way that breaks the rules of the game, but Ashe Leona, I would say, bring more to the table early on than these two chaperones. And then afterwards you will have the Senna ult and so forth. Whatever top esports do early is going to define this game. I think 2v2 is heavily in favor of top esports. I think bot side is stronger. I think 2v2 top side is a bit stronger as well for JDG, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Because in the end, a lot of these drafts comes down to a very, very narrow edge when a team gets an advantage and really seals the deal with it. And this is something that the LPL does super, super well. And the way I describe this is you have regions that play with... So there's a measurement of... Like, the more you increase your activity in the game, the more you decrease your precision. And I have to say that, you know, the best way to practice and to improve is to increase your level of activity, right? Your precision is going to be lower, but practicing up here raises your precision eventually. That's why you have a lot of animalistic scrims. That's why Vitality scrims were very animalistic. Very, very animalistic. When I say animalistic, I mean, you know, very wild, you know, very, very crazy. You know, like games are just looking really, really cocktail. Because we're trying to raise our level of activity together with the precision. An example of a team with very high precision, but very, very low activity could be the Team Liquid of old, right? Team Liquid of old would be the team that has a lot of precision. They would never do some of the dumb shit that G2 does or Fnatic does, right? Because they're playing with that level of precision, but at the same time the level of activity is very, very low. The more active you are in game, the more chances are that you do some dumb shit, right? And ideally, the teams that are the best of the best are the ones that, you know, are very, very high up on both. But even in this finals, you saw some level of lack of precision. You know, sometimes you saw some mistakes that kind of were like, what on earth is this, right? What on earth is this? But this is what makes the LPL so dangerous. They are always pushing for the highest level of activity. That's what made G2 and Fnatic so dangerous. They always push for that level of activity. You have Hylissang, you have Bwipo. These are players that are pushing for a high level of activity. With that, sometimes you sacrifice precision. And that's why even as the average viewer, you're thinking, what on earth is he doing? But at the same time, this is what, you know... I think when you are looking to win a region that is weaker, going for high level of precision with limited activity, I think is the right approach. Because looking at Team Liquid, I was very surprised that Team Liquid and FlyQuest was exactly this team. High level of precision, very little activity, you know? But they were trying to shift it coming into playoffs. They were trying to do this. They were trying to do this. And instead what they ended up was with this. If you guys see my hands. Right? Both FlyQuest and Team Liquid looked very uncharacteristic in the final because they tried to shift this too late. And I think when it comes to G2 and Fnatic, when they are looking at the regular split, they're looking at it as a, you know, monkey gym to just, you know, do whatever. Maybe not in Fnatic's case, because Fnatic still have very similar issues like they did in regular split. But you get my point. You get my point. And the reason why, you know, sometimes to the naked eye, it might look, oh, this series was not that clean. The era of clean, it's going to come in a couple of years. But now we are still in the process of the best team in the world maybe has very high level of activity and like a decent amount of precision, you know? And then with time, the precision will go up, 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 up. Do you think that the West is then held back by only playing best of one or Legacy season? Well, the thing is, the playoff games that the other regions get to play is a lot less. And wasn't Korean era the era of clean? Yeah, it was. But that can come back. That can come back. I don't believe that it can't come back. Just the level of individual players is going up, up, up every single year. Yeah, like you no longer have teams where there's like one standout player and that player is going to be good enough for you to win the World Championship. That's just not the case any longer. But let's jump into the game. We are 26 minutes in to the review and... oh, it's actually not a Syndra pick, it's a Zoe pick. Well, it's still the same. It's still the same. Like Zoe and... what in theory makes an excellent player? The ability to make decisions, you know, at all times. Like making a decision is... like a decision is you taking a minion. How much thought process goes into that? The bigger the thought process and the bigger the nature of effort that you put into every single decision you make, the better player you'll become. And the better player you are. The best players can always tell you why they did what they did at any point in the game. The best players always can. And of course mechanics. Is it better for other regions to counterpick Renekton or ban him this upcoming Worlds? I think it's just better to ban Nidalee. I think if you ban Nidalee, you're in the clear. Like Renekton's relevance is reliant on Nidalee and also Lilia, I guess. We have, let me just slow this down as we are looking at this invade. Yeah, it's just a bit tricky to do this against Braum. Like Braum is pretty juicy, but Lucian's position is a bit worse. Here they can use red buff as a wall, so that's pretty cool. Why don't EU players prioritize Nidalee in draft at all? Because it's very, very tough. Renekton Leads isn't a thing anymore, and Nidalee just scales better, she can farm better, she's quicker, and that matters. Isn't it easier to ban Renekton than to ban Elise? Like, where do you... That's very rarely you get to see Elise. Like, you can definitely ban Renekton, it's a way. It's definitely a way. Very nice here of Knight to take the time to position properly, because honestly JDG were quite animalistic for going for this. Like they're level 1ing against a Braum, that's usually a no-go. And Leon level 1 is not as strong. Ashe is good, Nidalee is alright, but Zoe here didn't even pick up any minions for it. I don't understand why Knight flashed. What on earth was this? So this is what I'm talking about. Like Knight is in the conversation of being the best player in the tournament, but at the same time Knight is, you know, doing shit like this. Maybe he thought Leona flashed to the right. Yeah, but that explanation doesn't make it better. Like, why would he flash? Why would Leona flash to the right here? There's no reason to. you guys are giving a reason for why he made a mistake, but that doesn't matter. Often I see this in chat. It's like, oh, maybe he thought of this. Maybe he can't play this, but we don't care about this portion. He made a mistake, right? He made a mistake. Plain and simple, we all agree that he made a mistake, right? We all agree that he made a mistake. And I don't judge him worse because of this. But now, a player like Knight has the clarity to understand after a situation. And now, to bring back to the conversation of what makes a great player, is now Knight has no flash and he understands what that means. When you make a mistake, you should be comfortable making a mistake. Comfortable making a mistake. No matter what the game state is in, great players are always comfortable. G2, their biggest strength is no matter what the game state is in, or no matter what the score is saying, they're always comfortable. Very, very comfortable. And that's super, super important. Super, super important. When you're comfortable, you think about how you win the game. How do you break the enemy nexus? That is the conversation you should always have in your mind, regardless of the state of the game. Score lines are similar to emotions in a way. They can change your ability to view the game. But in the end, no matter what the game state is in, it is always the most beneficial for you to think of how do you beat the enemy. And sometimes the game is so far gone, 10k gold behind, and even in those cases, having the clarity in your mind that you need to look for the enemy's mistake. Oh, in order for us to win this game, the enemy needs to make a mistake. That is very, very important. Mindfulness is the collective word for this mental growth. Definitely mindfulness, right? You always want to act in the interest of your own interests, right? In this case, Lucian burned flash. How does he adjust? JDG as well, they had a botch in vain. Leona came out and then they re-invaded, recognizing that once again they are in a better position, better angle. So here Senna is out and they are committing. Brom is popping potions. He has a second one not going just yet. This is absolutely crazy. Zoe is still chilling around. You have to pay attention to lane states here because how the minions interact can become super awkward. Zoom could have the potential to look to TP. Karsa is now level 2. Kanavi takes it and now the fight is commencing. This is something that we need to keep in mind. There's no flash on Knight. Senna's position is a lot worse than others, but the strength of top esports level 1 should be better. So it depends on what Braum manages to hit here. So together, Senna and Ashe are fighting, and now Ashe is in big trouble. Flash is out. Renekton has better position to, worse position to TP, because you saw Renekton had prio. He can achieve that with E, of course. Kanavi flashes out. I think that was unnecessary. I think Kanavi doesn't need to flash out. He kind of got too scared, because Karsa has cooldowns over this. And then now, that's the first kill. Leona manages to die. Leona had no flash from before. Leona is just getting autoed, and then the Q of Gragas also helped here. And this is a disaster. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Very, very cleverly played here by JDG. The beauty of this is the fact that they don't let go is absolutely crazy, because they are doing this because of the information of Senna. And the question is, are the other teams in the world ready for shenanigans like this? Thing is, JDG commits so heavily before and they lost the flash of Leona that they want to gain something here. They're very, very keen for gaining something here. And Senna is showing on bottom side. Senna is showing on bottom side, and that makes top esports win. Senna is very late to this, and there's a lot of chunking going on. And then eventually Kanavi gets the red buff, and then of course Volibear's position is just beneficial for top. So I wonder if JDG are playing with that level of clarity that they are saying we have top prio, we can TP in with Volibear and win. thing is, people are looking at this as some brute barbarian gameplay, right? But if we look at the information that the JDG had to make this decision, Senna was showing into bottom side, and Volibear indeed has prior to come in here first. The wave position top is bad. This creates dangerous situations that are very unorthodox, and when you're the one forcing them, it puts the enemy in a place where, you know, they might be in a state of shock. Sure, I understand that if we review this, we can say top esports need to make this decision. In perfect play, maybe this couldn't work, but putting the enemy in a state where they need to make such decisions is sometimes very beneficial. Very, very beneficial. So Karsa flashes, and then you have the Braum collapse. Loken flashes in. JDG are doing a good job of just maintaining the same side. Top esports is doing exactly the same, right? They're remaining very, very grouped. Renekton wants no part in this, and then everybody dies. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. Some people have told me that I sound like Lucian. The crazy thing about this is there's always going to be a slight gain here for JDG, because imagine a world where instead of, like, if I look back at this, maybe the best decision is just to hard leash the red and then give up some bottom farm, but that's also kind of dangerous. You sound like Tychus. It's about damn time. I made a deal with the devil, Jimmy. She dies. Some just need a little help. Everybody dies. Tychus Finlay. I fucking really enjoy the story of StarCraft 2. Let me just close the door. I made a deal with the devil, Jimmy. She dies. Battlecruiser operational. Who called in the fleet? Yo ho ho. You tried Heroes of the Storm? Yes. I actually enjoy Heroes of the Storm quite a bit, but let's get back to this. So we look at top esports' decision. Maybe the best decision was just to hard leash, but at the same time, JDG maybe could manipulate the bot wave, and then top esports will lose, and then they could maybe will Leon a block. Do you go to China? Or you don't know yet. No, none of the I don't think any of the broadcasts is going to China. They can do everything remotely, so it's just safer and better for everybody. Sounds like Dolph. If he dies, he dies. Yeah, there's an argument to say that this is cheesy, but the first time it happens, it is quite dangerous. I feel like JDG can get guaranteed value off of this situation, and that's why I like it. Because in a world where top esports do hard leash for Gragas, and Nidalee is in fog of war, it becomes a much more difficult decision to make. Why is Kog'Maw mid not so popular now? It's very strong when it reaches a level like Archangel's Staff and Liandry or Rylai, whatever you want to buy, maybe even Deathcap second. I like Deathcap second the most because I think the AP scalers of Kog'Maw are nasty. This is a solo kill, it looks like. Oh, never mind, no mana. But yeah, the Biscuit. I guess he was just afraid of Karsa. I would like to go. I would like to go there. If I'm Zoom, just go biscuit it up and then just commit. Because I think you can make the flash app. Why Kog'Maw is not so popular? So the thing is, it's just too weak early. Like even against Azir, where it's considered a counter, Azir wins. Azir wins. I like a Lich Bane on AP Kog. Well, you should check what you like because it ain't good. It's not good. So this was absolutely nuts. So we went from, if we look at the game state, we have a Zoe that is incredibly strong, but Lucian managed to catch a lot of creeps. So Lucian has a CS advantage and an XP advantage. Zoe is catching now, and Gragas is trying to recover because Gragas also died, right? Gragas died on the level 1, Brom died on level 1. CS at bottom is completely fine because Leona also died, so Senna could match Ashe. So it wasn't that impactful for bottom side, even though Ashe has a kill. But Lucian has XP advantage, and the problem with this is JDG are taking a fight that is not that so great to take. Renekton is moving all the way down. Renekton is all the way here. Zoom ate his biscuit. He's coming in hot. And then, boom, there's the flash. The split damage. Kanavi no flash, we know that. And that's the burst. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. So it's like, now in review you could say, Zoom, you need to keep chasing him, right? I have followed TSM for 6 years, and the moment superstar Bjergsen joined TSM, I knew that this team is going to be unbeatable. Now that TSM won NALCS, I have no doubt they will beat all these other copycat regions. My lord Bjergsen will prove everyone wrong. EA Sports, it's in the game. So here, imagine a world where Volibear just chases after Renekton straight up and follow the line of play that I wanted. It would have been better. This situation wouldn't have happened and JDG would have won the game. EA Sports, it's in the game. And then boom, Karsa just bops the Zoe to make sure there's no bubbles flying around, and then there's the burst. And then Knight here with the double buff, killing. This is Yagao. Ooh, look at that potion. Look at that Lucian potion. He just fucking drops it and then he survives. Boom, that's the potion. And then Knight is jogging away from this Zoom that has absolutely no move speed while everybody else is punching him. And now Lucian is giga winning top. Giga winning. Lemar doesn't know if he wants to enter this or not, and the extended fight is just better for top esports. And their Zoom dies too. No summoners, and it creates a very unorthodox situation. That's why, you know, always recentering your focus. When I say recentering your focus, always reassess the game. If you loaded into this game now, you know, this is a very good exercise. You might be saying, oh, I watch a lot of pro gameplay, but are you watching or are you actually studying, right? Studying would be, for example, at this point in time, if you look at this game state right now with the information you have, here you have all the information you need. Sure, we don't know exactly what the lane minions are telling us, but here we have so much information already. Here we have so much information already. Here we have so much information, this information, right? There's no pro view. But with the help of the information that I've highlighted, already you can make some clear depictions of what's going on in the game. After this happened, right, we got some kills, we got some frags. Let's do this exercise with the people in the chat. Let's play this game. Right now, what do we see in this moment in time? I don't know who you are, but I will find you and I will kill you. I don't remember how he said it. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Okay, so mid lane. What does it say about mid lane? What does it say about mid lane? Lucian is ahead. What do we say? What do we see more? What do we see more? Lucian is ahead. Okay. But what does that mean? Lucian is ahead. Better mid win. Lucian needs a recall. Now that is ding 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 ding. Mosama 4. You get a point, my friend. Lucian needs a recall. Correct. Before he gets to enjoy this advantage, he needs to base. Right? No summoners. No summoners across the board. Yes. What does this mean? That Gragas probably should find opportunities to get his Predator on, but with this in mind, he hasn't done the full first clear, so his second spawn is going to be very, very late. And if he tries to abuse the summoners here, if he gains nothing out of it, he's going to be very, very behind Nidalee. And if you're very, very behind Nidalee, you're going to be in absolute danger. Danger. Right? Zoe gets prio and can roam. Will she get prio though? Can she get prio? Right now, we have a situation where Lucian, that it has a level advantage. He is 4 and there's 3 minions against 3. She only has a cleanse, 1 corrupting potion advantage, so Zoe can't necessarily push. Rennick is porting top and has flash down. Wave isn't a good spot for gank. He can have vision because of the previous play. That is also a good thought. Very nice, Quantum. You see, the beauty of a picture is that it can say much more than many words. That is a great point, Quantum. And here we have Nidalee pathing into topside. This is definitely an opportunity to punish, right? Lucian need cover to back, yes. But here we have a situation where Leona is first. The key thing here for Knight is, you know, as a mid laner or as a player in general, you might feel super strong. You might feel super strong, but this is not an opportunity for Lucian to actually push. He needs to wait, he needs to be patient before he can actually use this advantage. Imagine the contrast would be chess, right? Let's say Knight is up a pawn right now, but his king is in danger, right? So if he managed to consolidate that position, he can actually enjoy his pawn advantage. But if he tries to rush it, then he might have to suffer from bigger losses, right? Okay. So we have had some good ideas with the potential Nidalee gank top with the TP on the wave. That's a beautiful one. That's a good one. They don't have information maybe of Leona on the map. Right now, Lucian is not in a position to push, even though he's stronger, right? He should queue through CS and withdraw. Yeah, he can, right? The trading aspect, the details of the trading doesn't matter. It's just more about holistically, how should the team approach the game, right? What are the problems they need to solve in order to be in a stronger position? Why can't they gank Zoe? Because right now Karsa is doing his first full clear of all jungle camps. If he chooses to gank and doesn't gain anything out of it, like in this case, sure, he could sacrifice himself to look for a push, but Leon has prio, and Nidalee could also match, right? Like in chess, you can predict moves in the future, waves come every 30 seconds, Knight knows Gragas will clear, so you can predict when he can back. Yes, right? That's why planning ahead is so important. Gragas could call, I need 1 minute to clear full camps, we're going to play on this specific wave. It's a very good and easy way of rallying your team behind an idea in the game. Very good. We have some smart people in the chat, very nice. Let's see how it plays out, okay? Let's see how it plays out. Let's just roll the clip and then just see how it goes. So here we have the Ashe, we spoke about it in draft. If Rom go mid level 2, he just die or not? He probably in this position he might die. So this is the gank that we spoke about. Very nice, very nice. I can't recall who called it, but very nice here. The top wave was in a horrendous position, and Renekton tried to repair it, and there we go, a kill for Nidalee. And she's very happy. Gragas going for the base to get Predator and then go into the bottom side. Very nice, Quantum. And now Renekton no TP. This is the worst situation to die in. And now somehow Lucian actually managed to like Yagao just kind of choked. But Nidalee is showing on top, right? Nidalee is showing on top, so Gragas could definitely save mid. Because look at Yagao. We spoke about everything, and now a pro team in review would say, is this top gank worth it because Lucian got a free base over this, right? That's the question. And now Lucian has his base, he's super happy, mission accomplished. Leona shows on bot, Nidalee shows on top. In review, a pro team would be like, is this the correct decision? Is this the correct decision? Because we needed to squeeze Lucian a little bit harder, because now the game is in shambles. Will killing Renekton dictate the game? It won't, right? It won't. So in some cases, pro teams are going to review this, at least the highest level ones, at least the ones I work with. We would say, is this worth it? Because now we are in a losing position. Lucian is going to be base, he has a cutlass, he has a goddamn cutlass. And everyone's going to say, why didn't he go tier? Why didn't he go something else? Thank you so much, Medicast, for the raid. I appreciate it. 360. 360. Ay-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya. Ay-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya. Ay-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Medicasts. Thank you very much, Aaron Chamberlain. Mr. Sir Aaron Chamberlain is reporting to your chambers. That was my butler announcing the arrival of Sir Aaron Chamberlain. This is my butler. Sir Aaron Chamberlain here to speak with you. Send him in. Alright, let's just continue. That doesn't make sense to you guys? Yanko's got told by Riot to stop stream. GG. Nevertheless, this is something that you have to review. And maybe there is no room for you to actually fight on top. Because eventually Graga's gonna show up, right? This would be the time where Gragas showed up, so maybe it's not worth it. So the conversation would be, you know, is it worth it to gank top because it allows Lucian to base for free? But at the same time, now Gragas would have a timer to base for free anyway. Like, I mean, what's it called? Lucian would have a timer anyway because Gragas would show up and Lucian 2v2 is just stronger and Loyana has a show on bot. So these are the conversations that you're having. Yo, why didn't Jankos host me if he had 29,000 people? If he had 29,000 people, why? Ja pierdolę, dlaczego nie zrobił mi taki host? Is YamatoCannon contracted to any team at the moment? Yeah. Ja pierdolę. This was a beautiful gank. Beautiful, beautiful. Karsa and Jankos have something special when it comes to getting you know, the jungle precision. Because looking at this, I was like, yeah, this is something that, you know, maybe is a bit too much, but then they get it. They get it. Boom. Beautiful. Renekton should have predicted this jungle gank, keeping in mind near the jungle path. Well, the awkward thing is his wave position was probably bad for him to not TP. Like, if the position was that Volibear is slow pushing into him, then of course he needs to keep TP. But here, he will suffer great losses regardless. That's the thing. This also is a big game changer. Like, Kanavi is trying to be greedy to stay ahead, but I think he can just clear his own jungle camps and he'll also get ahead. This was very, very greedy, and I think if he just did Grom, Golems, and then maybe Raptor spawn, I think you have GG easy peasy. GG easy peasy, AP jungle item base, and you're happy. So now we went from JDG getting a triple kill at level 1 to top esports being in a completely winning position. Another good exercise not exercise, but something to think about is the weakness of your side lane that you play into doesn't matter if you're making the defensive move. You could be 50 CS behind, and the decision of how you want to play with Lucian is not going to change. So here, you know, once again they killed Renekton, but the problem still is the fact that this Lucian is the thickest motherfucker on the block. Very, very thick. Are you planning to review some EU Master games? No. The reason they didn't do Dragon the way I saw it was because they didn't want to sacrifice tempo to give up Herald. Because this Ocean is not going to define the game. So Gragas should never sacrifice tempo to do it, because Gragas is not a great jungler to do the thing anyway. Like right now, Right now, top esports are winning. Right now, top esports is winning, and making sure JDG don't get any opportunities is great. Because keep in mind, in the beginning of this, in the draft, we spoke about how top esports just want to play a topside heavy game. You don't want to burn time. Because even now, JDG get this Ocean, but we will find out later if it matters. Getting the Herald for this for top esports is great, and they can look to snowball even further. Something that Chinese teams love to do is they just drop the Herald on mid, even though it doesn't break towers. Lucian would have been able to speed dragon take up quite a lot, but then again, a lot of players are using a lot of time for this. Is Senna ADC dead after the incoming nerfs? I don't know the nerfs. That is indeed a 10-minute Borg. Out of all major region finals, which one do you think was the best? I think China was the best. But don't you think that Rene didn't do what he was picked for? Well, the thing is, when the enemy picks Volibear, the purpose of Renekton kind of shifts. Gragas is burning all of his time into mid, and that's all that matters. Like, Renekton and Volibear are pretty much the same champion. Wow. Yeah, that sounds like Fasting Senna's gonna come back. That is quite a massive nerf. 369 has a very significant goal disadvantage in terms of what he has in his pocket. Excuse me. I feel like Zoom could have just won this straight up. Like, Zoom misplayed here really hard. Like, this was 100% a free kill. Here's Kanavi. Samana, waka waka, Okay, Kanavi. Lucian is coming. You are running tight on this clock, but it's okay. It's too low, no ult. Is Jackie better than Ruler? If someone told me that, I would understand. Conqueror Renekton against Volibear, it's okay. I don't like that top esports actually use this Rifter on the bottom side. I think there is no purpose behind it at all. How strong is Senna in your opinion? Worth her value in pro play or overrated? I think she's quite strong. I think she can get so much value out of her healing. Who's the favorite team in Worlds for you, Senpai? I think JDG and top esports take the cake, honestly. It's I can't consciously right now say that I truly believe in G2 being a tournament winner. It completely comes down to how much they gain out of their LPL, like China bootcamp, and I think this is an unprecedented situation. It's going to be the toughest bootcamp that the players have ever been in. I think a lot of the focus is going to be to keep the mental well, and all in all, that's dangerous. So we have a TP here, but 369 has no fucking Renekton ult. This is so fucking troll. This is really, really troll. Oh, the Renekton ult came up just right on time. This is very, very terrible from top esports. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. I don't know why top esports are so insistent on playing heavy into bottom side. Keep in mind, this was something that happened while Volibear is pushing top. First tower, I don't even know if they can get it, because Senna doesn't do any damage to turrets. I got Master in China, Super Server actually. Master. But yeah, saying that Jankos is hot stock after being there 2 days is a bit of a troll. That's a Senna ult right there. I got master and super server by just playing Galio every game. Are you okay with pro players taking psychotrope medicaments like antidepressants, ADHD medicine, benzodiazepines? I've never had a circumstance where that was the case, but I wouldn't be. I would. I know what I don't know, and I am not well versed in a conversation of these prescription medications, so I wouldn't. You know, it would completely come down to the circumstance. Because in the end, the only thing I care about is the health of my players, and if it makes them feel better, then who am I to interfere with that? Jag har koll inom droger, men jag kan inte säga att jag känner till allting på en professionell nivå. Let's just take a step back. We talked about drugs and now I'm here. I think amphetamines wouldn't be so good. I don't think amphetamines would be that good for playing League. It's too much of a communication game. Skicka alla till mig, de som vill veta något. Kom. Freddy, bror. I think amphetamines are not that good for League because it's too much of a communication game. Like, sure, if you have some turbo mechanical gods, then maybe you can like hard force wins. Hey, Angus is definitely going to prison. Because he didn't slap like. Okay, I lost focus completely, guys. This game is taking ages for us to review. So the second herald for top esports, but they didn't put it to the first one on mid. They broke bottom tower. They traded. Gold is equal. Let's do our thought exercise again. Let's take a look at Zoe. She didn't reach the spike. Blade is finished. 2 core almost finished on Senna. She's super strong. No core finished on Supor, so we don't care about that. Both top laners are rather useless right now, but the armor is gonna pay dividend because this is a single AP comp with the Gragunia. So this Volby is quite strong, honestly. It's also Renekton's going Blade, like he's gonna be completely useless. Just go Black Cleaver, except that you're not gonna do anything this game. I don't think he should go Blade this game. Like Blade is it's an item that you build in order to maintain tempo within the lane, you know, and this just ain't it. This song is a fucking jam, man. What is this? Lunar Revel? Lunar Revel? Or the Lunar Reveal? I don't know how to say it. Which mid do Jingu do? Mid? I can't speak. Can't say words. I don't agree with the magic resistance boots here of Nidalee, because she can just go tenacity and runes. I think Peanut is really good right now. I'm a fan of Shie and Peanut. But I am not a believer in Kramer. Performance enhancing drugs wearing out. Okay, let's take a look at this finally. At this point in time, I would argue that JDG is stronger. But there's no Luden's Echo. They will get the tower though. Very, very good stopwatches from both, honestly. Maybe Limao's stopwatch is a bit int. Because he doesn't need to, right? Like, what is he stopwatching here? Like, he's just stopwatching for no reason. But Yuyanja, very good stopwatch. Forgive me if I say your name wrong. But the bottom line is top esports got to mid tower, and the mid tower is so important for those who don't know. Mid tower is so important because it opens up access, right? Like, you can open up here, you open up so much. Having these pathways open for you is a very, very big deal and gives you access to the enemy jungle in so quick fashions. It's all about the space that it opens up, because if this tower is here, this space is just closed off for you most of the time. Because if a mid laner stands here in the safety of the zone's turret, you're not going to be able to take these aggressive paths. So now when this tower is down, you can push all the way and you can begin to take over the space. That's why the natural progression usually is, if you are... the thing that I'm trying to describe here is the sequencing of objectives usually is outer towers into mid tower. The reason is because you can push this in and then go into mid from an angle. But if you manage to take mid tower first, it becomes so much easier to take the outer towers because you can suffocate the enemy out from here. You see these marks that I'm doing? It's so much easier to take control over the space because the path is just quicker. And you can push enemy all the way here, and all of a sudden they will struggle to face check into these spaces. What build did you go on Galio? I was playing support Galio. So I was just buying depending on what the item, I mean the game. At the time when I was there, Redemption was a very OP item. Is that why Fnatic always dies for tier 1 turret? Now that is a good meme. This is so sad. Play Despacito, Alexa. Fucking Kanavi is addicted to the Stone Bros this game. I'm still in Europe. Is he listening a bad player? No. Kanavi. I feel sad for all the Kanavi fans that only watched this series and judged Kanavi of this. Game 2, Kanavi was a fucking monster. Fucking monster, Kanavi. I'm sad to see this Blade of the Ruined King paying off. Wow. Renekton has TP, but nothing to TP on. Look at the pink wall placements, it's very nice. Actually has a TP ward there to go on. But the amount of commitment, it's hard to make here for top esports.
by the barrel, and now Karsa, because it's not going to be able to fight. Play to the Rune King easy. He's pretty sure he's still playing Fiora at this point as he stays up to the top side. Play to the Rune King easy. Cancel the push. He's pretty sure he's still playing Fiora at this point as he stays up to the top side. Play to the Rune King easy. He's pretty sure he's still playing, and they'll back away from the play in the end. 369.
I feel like they could have held this, no? But it's also weird how Renekton keeps pushing here. When in reality, like, I'm looking at the items and I just think Essence Reaver finished on Lucian. This is like prime time for them to be active. Senna condition is also very strong, but no Muramana finished. Karsa getting chunked is a bad thing. Like, even though Kanavi entered on the Krugs, Kanavi has managed to maintain a massive lead. They group mid here because Drake is spawning. They group mid here because Drake is spawning, and sieging for them is good. Keep in mind, sieging for JDG is super good. They have Zoe, Ashe, and Nidalee. They are very happy to siege. That's why they're grouping on mid. They don't care about the side lane. Volibear is sacking some farm. They are ready to go and commit for this. I just feel like here the issue is Top Esports hesitated too hard on the defense on the turret. And then afterwards, like at this point, JDG just need to stop committing. It's already too much. They didn't pay attention to Gragas having the stopwatch. And then Top Esports managed to actually win this fight, because in extended fights, Lucian and Senna are fucking great. The married couple stand strong. And now Renekton came on that little cheeky ward. Look at that cheeky ward. The cheeky ward. But JDG could have backed off. I feel like Top Esports needs, in order to defend this, they need to be a bit harsher on the situation. But now it's just a massive overcommitment from JDG. Massive overcommitment. And Top Esports with a beautiful punishment. So if we look at Top Esports, as a team, they aren't really that super impressive, right? I would say Down One as a team is more impressive. But the thing is, Top Esports individually is really fucking insane. And sure, Down One is also individually really insane. But I feel like Top Esports really takes the cake. They really takes the cake. And always when you have players like that, there's always like a higher ceiling for what you can and cannot do. I have this feeling about Top Esports that throughout the pro tournament they will progress and become so much fucking better. While JDG, I think their current level is much stronger than they showed here. Who are your top 4 teams for Worlds? I would say Damwon, G2, and also JDG and Top Esports. And then I think Suning could also squeeze in there. Suning is a dangerous fucking team. Very dangerous team. Fucked up dangerous team. And the thing is, G2 is the type of team to get second place. G2 is the type of team to get second place in groups. And it's tough. DRX over G2? Doubt it. I think Genji is better than DRX. Do you think Fnatic got a chance? No. I actually don't think so. I think Rogue has better chances than Fnatic. Huanfeng is really good. Yeah, I agree Huanfeng is good. Suning dark horse, man. Suning really dark horse. Thank you, Hunsux. Hunsu XX. I assume it's your name. Thank you. I appreciate that. That gives me peace. But nevertheless, the fight happened and the transition to Nash. Naturally, JDG overcommitted. I think it was a good play for them to create a siege situation. They can play situations a little bit slower sometimes because like they have a very strong poke composition, and obviously top esports they have a tricky time finding engages with the team composition. Now Renekton TP is off, and I feel like JDG can only be baited into fights. Because Lucian, Senna, Braum are very good in fights when the enemy comes into them, but JDG have no purpose of ever hard committing. Assuming like the better Schalke, no, they're not similar at all. I wouldn't put SoFM and Gilius in the same conversation. They're very different as players. What are we listening to, man? How did we get here, Riot Games? I don't get the Renekton pick. Why not take Fiora, Camille, or Shen? They are miles better even in early game. Well, you're wrong. Renekton is better early game. Why Ash build here Blade and King? It's completely int in that situation, as well as not building full crit or Manamune Lucian into Zoe. That's... like this Manamune Lucian, guys, is really overrated. Giga overrated. Like you realize here, if Lucian went for a tier pickaxe base, he would not snowball this game as hard as he did. Why are Bork always build on Renekton? I think this case shouldn't have been a Blade Run King game. I think this game definitely shouldn't be a Blade Run King game. Guys, the thing is, Cutlass Lucian is unbelievably strong. Why can't he go ER into IE? Because, guys, what's missed so many times when people discuss items is the path to those items. The path to those items matters. Every base timing you have matters. The thing is, what makes Blade so strong as an item, when you complete it independently, it's very strong, the active is very strong. Also, with Lucian, Cutlass is an unbelievably strong item. What's it called? Vampiric Scepter, very strong lane item, very good too. The daggers of the components, every portion of buying Blade is very strong. Every time you base, you have some kind of a spike that matters in lane matchups like Lucian against Zoe. Tier, when you buy it, doesn't give you any stats. Would you recommend sell it when reaching 6 items? For sure. Yeah, for sure. But would you buy SS3 plus IE on bot Lucian? It depends. Like if you have Yuumi, it's pretty fucking good because you give a lot of AP to Yuumi like that. Legend Bloodline doesn't exist early game. A lot of people are also very, very overhyped on Legend Bloodline. Because look, Legend Bloodline is strong. It solves a problem for many AD carries. But gain Legend, this stacks absurdly slow. Very, very slow. You need 20 stacks of Legend to get this to 12%. Okay? And at that point, it is good. It's good. But in contrast, Alacrity 10. Right? You get a fully stacked 10. So in the conversation of saying that Vampiric Scepter is good, you can't say that Bloodline compensates for that. Because I'm talking about the point in time when I base on 900 Gs and I get a Vampiric Scepter, that's very juicy for lane as a Lucian. It's very good for Lucian. There are situations where Manamune is good, like I would say maybe into an Azir, I would say Manamune Lucian, I think it's okay. I think it's okay, but it also depends on the game. Like in this case, if Knight went Manamune Lucian this game, they wouldn't have any power. Wouldn't have any power. They wouldn't have had any power. Keep in mind, I am a strong, like look at me, okay? This is my op.gg, okay? This is my op.gg, okay? This is NA, I don't know why flag was ignored there. Okay, let's go Europe West. I literally buy fucking Manamune on Jhin, okay? I think Manamune Jhin is really good. This one I really like. Nevertheless, this was flex, so this is bullshit, who cares? The point is, if we look at Tier of the Gods, thing is, there are situations where Manamune is fantastic, and then there are situations where Manamune is not so fantastic. It works the same way, because look at this, okay? Sapphire Crystals gives you 250 Gs. It gives you 250 mana, right? So what the fuck are you really paying for here when you get Tier of the Gods? Right? Refunds 10% of mana spent from casting abilities. Okay, we got that one in the bank. But stat-wise, this doesn't give me anything. This doesn't give you anything. And Zoe Lucian is a matchup that is close enough. But Prince Knight, once again, what you're missing here, what you're missing is every base timer. This is not, we're not playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3, where I can choose when to fight, right? This is not Heroes of Might and Magic 3, where I can just choose, okay, I'm going to trade at this point in time. This is a lane phase that is very, very active, and your power level matters at every point in the game. Every base it matters. One longsword matters, two longswords matters. All of these small, intricate details in a matchup that is so dynamic as Lucian Zoe, it matters. Why not Triforce on Lucian? Well, the thing is, Lucian scales too well with AD. Trinity Force Lucian, it's bad because, keep in mind, the way Lucian's passive works, it's completely unintuitive together with Trinity Force. Also, the way you want to play with Lucian is you want to you W, auto, E, auto, Q, auto, and you do that in the span of 1.5 seconds. You get one proc off and then it's fucking pointless. And on top of that, when you have a passive like this, you don't want to fucking buy items that don't have a lot of AD. Like, you have too good AD scaling, so not buy AD items. Also, like, look at this AD scaling. Like, this is absolutely nuts, right? This has 850% AD scaling. This has every passive basic attack is, it's too much. You can't give it up. You can't give it up. If you base on 1600 gold, what's better, Cutlass or BF Sword? It depends on the game. That's the beauty of items. It always depends on the game. It always depends on the game. So you go Manamune when you have to match enemy scaling and how to snowball the lane early? Yeah. Yeah. If you're in a game when you get nothing out of buying Cutlass and Blade, then for sure you shouldn't buy it. For sure you shouldn't buy it. You need to gain something. This game was a clear example of him gaining. He gained. He gained. I've always said, if you can get away with getting Manamune, like if you reach the point in the game, where you have Muramana fully stacked, you've won. Right? You've won the little mini game. Right? What do you? Someone asked what I think about LS. He's good. He's good for the scene. Good for the scene. The man is fucking a workhorse. A workhorse. He makes people think. And if I had the size of his platform, I would do the same thing. What about Yumu's rush lethality? Is good early plus 80. Oh, it doesn't have attack speed and doesn't have lifesteal. I think Manamune is fine. It's just tier rush that's garbage. Well, that's a part of Manamune, right? It's like saying, I think this woman is very pretty, but her face is fucking ugly. Like you can't really, you can't really put that in the same sentence. Yeah, sometimes you do get to put a bag over it, right? Sometimes you get the base on 2,400 gold, and then and then sure, that's literally you putting a fucking bag over it. Yo, Kanavi, what are you doing, man? Like, fucking, I unpause and then there you are. Kanavi, you're fucking wild, man. But you can build a pickaxe for the lane and then next base build a complete Manamune. But sometimes you don't get to farm, approximately 1,600 gold, right? Like 1,625 gold. Sometimes you don't get to farm that. Or 1,525, whatever it is. 1,525. I can't do math in this moment. Shema, jebam disa. JD. What do you, if Karsa build with ER into Dark, why they do it? You just want to reach Q upgrade as soon as possible. That's the point of that itemization. And you just one-shot people with Q, because Q is physical damage and the Serrated Dirk is juicy, and then later on you can sell it. It's also one of those things, like Serrated Dirk is a very strong item as a standalone. Yeah, you go Dirk then ER, you're right, Mech, I know. I just assumed he wrote it wrong. Isn't it 1725? I don't fucking know, man. Like, my 240 minus 875. See, 1525. Fireblade 121, man. You see, what are you smoking, man? You're smoking some good kush. Some good kush and alcohol. Okay, end this game already, Top Esports. End the suffering. Okay. He's in Verbiven's garden, probably. Yeah, Verbiven seems kind of toasted on the I will dominate streams. I fucking love Verbiven. I remember I met Verbiven at an after party. I met him at an after party and I was like, Verbiven, you look like a golfer, man. You look like a golfer. You look like a golfer, dude. And he's like, what do you mean? I don't golf. I was like, dude, you have to golf. Tomorrow, you need to get some golf clubs. And then, like sometimes when I'm bored, I do these things. I just mess with people. I was like, Fabian, you're talking to this person over here, but honestly, you should be practicing your golf swing. And then that was my evening. Just convincing Fabian that he's gonna become a golfer. What do you prefer, Bork or Mana? Bro, we already spoke about this for 20 minutes. Just the rewind, bro, rewind. Fabian is a golfer. Guys, go tell him right now. No, not a gopher, a golfer, golfer. Golfer, golfer. Tiger Woods. What the fuck is a gopher anyway? But nah, man. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So JDG needs to play on poke. Zoe just poke, Nidalee poke. Like if they play on time, it's cool. They never need to hard force. Never hard force. If they hard force, then it's rough. But the tricky thing about poking is Senna is so unbelievably unbalanced that she just queues all that damage up. Like, one moment ago, everybody was low. Like, look how everyone gets chunked, right? Braum gets chunked. Boom. Jackie Love takes a sleepy bubble trouble into the face. Look at Braum's HP. And then all of a sudden, boom. Look, we get some Qs up in this bitch. Braum based, and then it doesn't matter. And then, of course, Kanavi. Well, did he see some golems? Kind på srotta. Ach, Kanavi, ach. I think JDG made it much easier for top esports to win this game. I think sometimes what is missed upon teams in China is that they don't recognize the strength of their composition sometimes. I think this is a weakness of the LPL teams. They don't recognize the strength of their composition when it's not about, just fucking running in. I don't know. Look at Senna. Look at that Senna range. Absolutely mental. Freddy Bror saknar sponsor. Do you think Jackie Love is the best ADC in the world at the moment? I think Loken is in that conversation and Ruler too. And Huan Feng maybe. Us. Ush. Can you tell us your top 3 favorites for winning worlds? I would say JDG, top esports, and then maybe Suning. But G2 and Damon should also be in that conversation somehow. Now, you need to keep in mind, guys. You need to keep in mind. You need to keep in mind that the tricky thing about this world, the tricky thing about this world is G2 have a lot of stuff to fix, right? And they had high hopes for their bootcamp in China. But now this bootcamp is so fucking strange. Like this bootcamp is not as any other bootcamp. Like they're in a bubble, they're not in the same room, they are not mingling amongst each other, they are not sharing that time together, they are not breathing the same League of Legends air, they are not bouncing ideas of each other, they are not growing together. And that is something that we should not underestimate the power of, because if I understand it correctly, the LPL teams don't need to bubble it up. They don't need to bubble it up. But it's only for 2 weeks, but brother, in 2 weeks, that's almost when World starts. It's almost when World starts. They have 1 week of practice and there you go. That is insane advantage, guys. Insane. There's already a lot of things going on in terms of... What the fuck? I just pressed this accidentally. There's already a lot of things going on about how you want to approach Worlds. There's going to be a new patch. There's going to be 10.19. It's going to be absolutely wild. I don't know. I don't know if the LPL teams need to bubble it up. I don't know. Suning is good. Suning is good. But I don't know if they have the qualities to win a championship. I feel like they're the type of team that can take games off of anyone, though. They really, really can. Are there any details of what happens if a player ends up with Corona? I don't fucking know, man. Are they just gonna cancel the whole World Championship? That is gonna be crazy, man. That one is far and beyond better than every LCK team. It's crazy this fight was so close. Very crazy this fight was so close. Yo, you ignore my song request. Because why are you asking for a song request right now when we're doing this review, man? You know what would be messed up if like a playing team, like let's say like a playing team that comes from, I don't know, one of the really small regions, just come in and they have the Rona and that just breaks the whole tournament. That would be mental. That would be mental. LGD is a pool 4. This is crazy. Look at the Yagao's flash. Yagao's flash is fucking beautiful. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Yagao definitely has some moments of brilliance. But this here, I think Knight also ends it, because he kind of just flashes into the Zoe Q. Boom. We get the ace. If we look back, what top esports should have been doing? What do you know about the on-air talent? Well, I know that I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. JDG Xiaohu, yeah, that's the one. I was thinking exactly the same 100 Thieves 777. Really, I was thinking exactly the same. JDG Xiaohu, I felt it. I was thinking the same thing. Believe me. Believe me. What do you know about the on-air talent? Well, there are studios all over the world, and I think they're going to use them, because basically, like, there's a studio in Europe, there's a studio in Korea, and then a studio, of course, in NA. and then the studio in LPL. They're going to use these to, you know, just bring the thunder. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we get to see some Atlas LS casting at the World Championship. I will put my money on it. I will put my money on it. So Freak already said on stream there will be remote casting, yeah. So I'm pretty sure the LCK is going to be involved. I'm pretty sure that Europe is going to be involved. Atlas and LS. I put money on that shit, man. They're gonna cast. It's about damn time, man. Some LS on the official Worlds broadcast. The man's too big to ignore, man. The man's too big to ignore. LS said he wasn't contacted to do it. Well, it's kind of an unprecedented situation. You know, it's an unprecedented situation because you have the Rona all over the place and it's hard to coordinate. And maybe he's just keeping secrets from you guys or something. No. I'm putting money on it. LS is very professional on the LCK stream. The same way, like I'm acting, the way I'm acting here, I'm not acting the same. I don't act the same when I'm on the Raya broadcast, of course. LS literally screaming. Ah! Ah! Okay. I am from Australia, I'm Atlas. I can't fucking pretend to be Atlas. I don't know how. I love Atlas. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! I think it's hilarious. It's cool. No, I will put money on that. LS would be on the world broadcast. Put some money on it, guys. Put some money. It's much more high. I don't go more high pitch. I can't. Boris is shaking right now. Boris thought that he could fucking escape during the World Championship. No fucking way, bro. No fucking way. How about putting money on Monster Thor in the legal broadcast? I don't fucking know. I don't know about putting money on that. Skydrax LOL, thank you very much. We've been reviewing one game for 2 hours. That's crazy. Not a lot of reviewing, we're just talking shit, man. Always when we get into these wild numbers, you know, fucking 1,300 people watching, we begin to, like, there's always this, I'm sorry for being off topic, but what do you think about sour cream and onion Pringles? Like in the middle of the game, and I'm like, what? Well, it's like, my friend has a birthday, I know you're reviewing right now, but can you tell him happy birthday? And it's like, what the, man, we're trying to review here, man, please, man, please. Song request, Erosier, that was messed up, bro. I'll tell you what I think about sour cream and Pringles, sour cream and onion Pringles. I'll fucking buy that shit, man. This is my go-to treat once a month. And after me saying this, even after saying this, Ezio EU he doesn't give a shit, man. He doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't give a shit. What do you think of EU right now? Does it look better than last year? Same like last year, or EU weaker than last year? Doesn't give a shit, man. He's just muted. He's asking his question anyhow. Just okay, let's just fucking put this game in the bank. Boom, the arrow lands, cleanses on cooldown. Good Braum shield, good stopwatch. Actually, had stopwatch. Ooh, look at the timer, man. Look at the timer. Ooh, look at the timer. Look at the time of that redemption. Boom, he comes out, it pops. No problem at all. Jackie Love, don't hit the volley bear. No problem, he's full HP, so the healing doesn't matter. Very, very nice. So you answered a couple questions, didn't read us. I'm just kidding with you, SCU. Let's talk about that after the game, okay? Is that JDG Zoom or SK Gen X? Bro, that is wild. Look at this barrel, though. Look at this barrel, man. Donkey Kong is fucking jealous. Look at this. Look at this. Usa. Ooh, Loken. You are the Loken. Renekton is the key. Boom. Look at Renekton. He just fucking skydiving right onto Loken's face and his flash is on cooldown. Sucks to be you, brother. Loken with the premature cleanse too. Ooh. That is nasty, man. That is nasty. And then here comes Lucian. Lucian comes with the evolution. Revolution. Yeah, I'm not a rapper, guys. Oh my goodness. Oliver. Oliver. Thank you very much, Oliver. That's my agent right there, man. Repping me, man. Repping me in this mad industry. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Very nice. Putting yourself on the top of the list. Yo, if it wasn't for Oliver, I would be probably dead by now, guys. I would be fucking dead in some ditch somewhere. I would be I would be gone. Skydox also donated $3. Pozdrowienia z Polski, byczku. Dziękuję bardzo, dziękuję bardzo. And that's game, guys. That's game. Some of the names of some of the people that got subscriptions, absolutely crazy. All right. Thank you so much for watching that review. Please leave a like if you got to this point in the video. I'm gonna upload this on YouTube. Leave a like, guys. Subscribe. No way, no one's gonna make it. What kind of secret message should we leave the people that watch to the end of the YouTube video? The secret is hidden under the carpet. The secret is hidden under the carpet. The secret is hidden under the carpet.